Hey maggots, and welcome to our holiday cooking series. Now, hopefully you're gonna find this both informative and entertaining, kind of like our show, except for the part when Dawn talks. We call that filler. So here's the idea. Whether you've been doing this forever or you've never done it, entertaining and cooking for groups of people is intimidating to everyone and nerve-wracking. Even people like me that have been doing it for 25 years. It's exhilarating, but you're still anxious and nervous. You want to get everything right. If you're a novice, if you're nervous, if you've never hosted before, I promise you, if you follow my recipes and instructions, everything's going to be fine. Now, if you're a little more advanced, make it fun. That's what cooking is all about. Take my recipes and go, I think this would make Rob's recipe a little better. I want to try this. All of my recipes came from someone else's ideas and then I added to them. That's the fun of cooking. Also, keep in mind, if you see me cooking for, say, servings of 2 or 4, and you're like, wait a minute, I have to serve 12 people, just triple everything. Also, if you get overwhelmed by the measurements, Google is fantastic at helping you with the conversions. Another trick, if you're using an oven and you only have one oven, remember, if you put more than one thing in that oven, everything cooks slower. And finally, remember the most important thing about having fun when you're cooking: alcohol. Let's cook. All right, maggots, this is it, the main event. It's time to take the bird from the brine and then turn it into the most amazing turkey you've ever had. Now look, first clarification. If you're watching this on Thursday morning, Thanksgiving morning, you're okay. That's fine. If your bird has been brining all night Wednesday night, that's okay. Other clarification. If you do this Tuesday, that's okay as well. That's when I do it. I brine my bird overnight, usually Monday night. Then on Tuesday, I can do this step, and then I sit it in the refrigerator. The reason for that step, by the way, is I like to get the skin nice and cold in a refrigerator, which makes for a crisper skin. You don't have to do that. Don't freak out, but that's the reason. If you read the recipe, there's that step where you do part of what we're gonna show you today, and then you refrigerate it overnight and you finish. We're not gonna go with that step for this video. We're just gonna show you the whole process. Now, here's what you need. You've already brined your turkey overnight, 6 to 18 hours. It's gorgeous. It's been sitting in your pantry or your garage. We're gonna pull it out and clean it. Once you do that, you're gonna need a few different things. You're gonna need some olive oil. You're gonna need some butter. You don't have to use butter, but you know, do you want a good turkey or not? Then you're gonna want some seasonings. I'm just gonna show you some basic seasonings. You can go with just salt and pepper if you want. There's also a really easy to get mix called herbes de Provence. This is a great mix that goes well with poultry. It's a mix of lavender and rosemary and things like that. That adds a nice little subtle hint of flavor. You can actually do whatever you want. You can put a Cajun rub on, whatever you think is appropriate for your turkey, and I'll show you how to do it. Also, you need to have what we call the mirepoix. These are a bunch of chopped vegetables, which we're gonna shove into the cavity of the turkey. Nobody's gonna eat this. This is for aromatics and flavor. In my case, what I did was I already pre-chopped a bunch of rosemary. You can use citrus like some lemons, celery, carrots, onions, whatever you like in terms of some flavoring. Let me remind you, if you wear jewelry, this should come off. I have received That's why we have olive oil. Just a little bit of olive oil, okay. I've had too many emails from too many women who have lost their engagement rings or wedding rings inside of the bird. No kidding. Plus, this gets a little messy. Remove the Rolex. I know you're all wearing Rolexes. This is not worth it. You don't want to lose this inside of the cavity of the bird. That goes to the side. Most importantly, I do all of this, as I said, usually on Tuesday or Wednesday morning, but we're going to pretend it's Thanksgiving morning. And as we've already established, great cooking comes with great alcohol. Every Thanksgiving has a tradition. I start around 9 a.m. when the first football game starts to come on, and I open a bottle of my favorite Chardonnay in the world. It's called Pride. This is the only time I really drink Chardonnay. It's a good start to the day. Then from there I go to red wine or something much heavier. So let's get the day started. Yep, we're good. It's Thanksgiving. First things first, we gotta get the bird out of the brine. We've got this damn turkey, it's like 14 pounds. It's submerged in water and brine. What do? We're gonna head over to the sink. We're gonna slowly pull it out of the brine, and then we're gonna rinse it off. Now the point of the rinsing off is there's a lot of salt by design in the seasoning mix that we added in there. We want to get that salt off there because the salt's done its job. Remember, it's a chemistry thing. The salt has broken down the fibers of the turkey that would make it tough, but we don't want it to over-season the bird because this is the one thing, the one complaint we get every year is some jackass doesn't rinse his bird enough. Oh, Rob, why was my turkey so salty? I just took it out of the brine and served it. Because you're an idiot, that's why. You have to rinse this and massage it. So, we're gonna go over to the sink here. This is where you get dirty. Don't be afraid of it. Pull your bird out. Remember, it was breast side down, so you got a bunch of turkey juice in there, brine juice in there. Let's get that out. Now, as for what's in the bucket, we'll deal with that later. You want to, depending on your garbage disposal, you can dump it down your sink. I don't really recommend that. You can dump the juice down the sink, but I would, there's a whole bunch of herbs and stuff in the particular brine that I use. Just pour that into a garbage can or whatever. But we're not going to focus on that because who cares right now. So, here's your bird. Just came out of the brine. Hello. Hello, brined bird. Hello. Hello. Now we take it. Put it in your sink. Now, quick note of sanitation. We just dumped an entire raw turkey into our sink. When this process is done, we're gonna come in here with bleach and we're gonna spray all of this, because at this point you have raw turkey everywhere. That leads to salmonella for all of the following things. And remember, you're doing this at worst case Thanksgiving morning, best case Tuesday or Wednesday morning before Thanksgiving. So, lukewarm water, and get this off there. And this is about a 5-minute process beginning to end. If you need to set a timer, you can. All we're doing is rinsing the bird in every way possible. You are not getting rid of all of the benefits of the brine. The benefits of the brine have been soaked in. This is to get rid of any surface area, salt, any peppercorns that we don't really want in there if you use them. Don't be worried about things like this. See this colorization? That's normal, that's fine, you want that. Remember, when we put it into the brine, we intentionally filled the cavity with brine. That means we gotta make sure we get all the salt out of there. So get in there like you mean it. Fist that thing. Oh yeah, you like that, don't you, turkey? Yeah, you like that. Oh, you want to, can you do two? Oh, look at that. Oh, you slut. You're a slut, aren't you? Yeah, you slutty turkey. Sorry. Hello. Okay, and then onto its pan that you're going to use. By the way, we should point out at this point, we are filming for you the traditional holiday roasted turkey because most of you use ovens. I have not literally made a turkey in the oven for a dozen years. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. I just like my oven to be used for other things like the mashed potatoes, the dressing, things like that. Everything that we've done to this point is what you would do if you were going to grill your turkey, smoke your turkey, rotisserie your turkey. As I've said over the years, you would not go through this process if you're going to deep fry your turkey. It's a waste of time. You don't need to brine a turkey you're going to deep fry. That's the whole point of deep frying it. But at this point, everything is normal. Now what we do from here is based on how you're going to cook your turkey. You can refer to my recipes at radradio.com. So let's go prep this thing to go into the oven, which we go over here.
Show.